church, sister?
Sister, this has been a place of worship since 1793. We must have respects.
Forgive me, sisters, for disturbing you at prayer.
We understand.
Then please, come along.
Sergeant Erickson, so nice to see you.
Look, Lorenzo, I haven't got all day.
First, let me say that these two ladies suit my purposes. I am pleased you are prepared to bargain in good faith. Very well, then. Our dealings in the past have always been mutually profitable, so let me come right to the point. You want Watford? We've got him. My employers, however, wish to sell him in conjunction with the nuclear warhead of his design.
Lorenzo, you haven't got the warhead yet.
Please, Sergeant, do you mind? As I was saying, my employers wish to sell him to a client of ours. But for you, Sergeant, I will go over their heads and deliver him directly into your care.
And you're willing to double-cross your bosses?
For a fee.
Okay, Lorenzo.
So then, we have a bargain. These sisters come with me now. I deliver Watford to you. Then I will return the sisters in excellent health when I receive payment. Now, if you will stand over here, my dear friend, we will be on our way.
Right limo! Right limo!
Stop it! Oh, an hour ago, you came over here looking for warmth, compassion, and understanding. Let go, I love you. And a little romance, yes, romance. And how do you repay me for my advances? With savage and merciless tickling. I don't know. I'll phone the KGB. I mean it.
You are the KGB.
Semantics.
It's my last chance to torture you before I leave for Canada tomorrow. I don't want to go. I'm just venting my frustration.
You have to go. It's part of your responsibilities as a press agent for Cass. Besides, Canada sounds like fun in a dull sort of way.
It's going to be boring as hell. Canada. Just a frozen outpost of American capitalism.
Sounds like party rhetoric. Don't tell me you've been appointed to the Politburo. Alexandrov. Yes? Really? Yes. Wait. What caliber were the bullets? I see. How long ago did this happen? 3 hours. You've been rather lax, comrade, have you not? I should say so. Put him on. Comrade Captain, good evening. I understand the victim was CIA. I agree. Very well, sir. About 20 minutes.
This sounds very interesting. Something I can put across the wire as an official story.
Not yet, you can't.
Incredible! Incredible! Janice is in the hospital and Lorenzo's dead. Our only lead to Watford and we lost him. Despite our best efforts, which included a shooting match that made all the papers. So who are these jerks anyway? Karen?
They call themselves the brokerage. They usually run guns for Soviet client states.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, they seem reasonably organized, eh? Enough to prevent one of their own boys from double-crossing them. Did you find Lorenzo's limo?
Yes, sir, we did. It was in an underground garage. Chauffeur was dead.
I think you're aware that our esteemed Solicitor General would like to close us down and set up a civilian security agency. He intimates that we're incompetent. Good heavens, I can't see why.
Sir,
Shut up and take it, Tanucci. We're fighting for our lives this time, boys and girls. We can't just play at being Royal Canadian Mounties. We had a very big fish on the line today, and he's gone. But that's not the point. The point is the whole stinking world's going to be breathing down our necks this week. And since our honored friend Mr. Trudeau was actually successful in getting the Yanks and the Reds to talk with each other, we have ended up with the joy of hosting the occasion. And whose job is it to provide security? Ours, people! And we've been doing a fairly rotten job so far. Go over every ounce of information we've got on the case right now. And I want individual reports on today's fiasco on my desk at 8 tomorrow morning. Thank you. Good day. Stay check. Tanucci, did you get that new information about the bomb?
Yes, sir.
Pass it along to your people. They may as well know all the gruesome details. Go, out.
Karen.
Hi.
Put you through the mill, did he?
Worse is yet to come.
Cheer up. We'll get through it somehow.
I hope so.
Pardon me. Mr. Ambassador, I'd like you to meet Karen Stachuk, our local field director. Karen, this is the coordinator for the accord signing, Ambassador Collins.
Mr. Ambassador.
Charmed.
Excuse me, I have to get going. Excuse me, madam.
Mr. Ambassador?
Waited until you arrived before beginning, Comrade Alexander.
Well, you're the expert on this sort of thing, Henri. Suspected cause of death.
Gunshot wound to the head.
The body shows signs of being searched.
Quite thoroughly, Comrade.
We'll do powder residues.
Yes, Comrade?
Any other entrance wounds?
Yes, one in the right shoulder, one in the left leg.
Make sure we get lots of photographs and fingerprints.
As soon as we're finished here.
It sounds like the brokerage. They're supposed to be on our side. Usually. Are you sure he's CIA? Positive. Well, they're obviously not working for the Americans. Let's take a look. Scalpel. What's that? X-rays?
Over there.
A word with you, Comrade Captain. Certainly. And you knew nothing about this?
Total surprise.
Apparently, they're .22 caliber dum-dum bullets.
Yes, so I see.
Could they refer to Kutsev?
I doubt it. But it's possible. She was in Toronto for a year. The same place where the disarmament accords are to be signed. Coincidence?
Perhaps. I understand Canadian security is like a sieve. If there's going to be trouble, Kutsev would be involved.
A theft?
Something. Something.
Well, then, I suggest you go and pack.
What do you think, Chuck?
It's about 9 o'clock now. I know it's here.
I know, we're always
Get Liverpool.
You guys got your scalps back?
Oh, finally you decided to come in, eh?
Come on, nothing, man.
Could we break this up?
Yeah. Still at it.
Here.
This guy doesn't quit.
Smith, here.
Karen, why do we have to go over this again? We've gone over it at least 10 times.
I want to hear it again. That sure sounds couldn't hurt. Okay? Now, take it right from the top. Frank?
All of it?
Every scrap.
For God's sakes, Arthur, don't tell me about security. These cloak and dagger maniacs called the brokerage knew all about the bomb. But you don't tell my department till yesterday because of security? Mr. Ambassador, you've got to call the whole thing off.
That's precisely why you were not told, Mr. Douglas. We're not prepared to turn back now. I happen to know that these people will make an attempt on the warhead.
You knew about it?
But not here in Toronto, Mr. Douglas. Not in your town. According to CIA data, the attempt will be made after the warhead leaves the plane at Helsinki. We have the whole thing perfectly under control.
Okay. Finland remains a gap in the NATO allies boxing in the Soviet Union. Now, because Finland's a neutral country, theoretically, it still stands a chance of being invaded by the...
Thanks.
As I was saying, because Finland's a neutral country, theoretically, it still stands a chance of being invaded by the Russians.
Like Afghanistan.
Right. Now, the Americans want to arm Finland with a nuclear weapon before the signing of disarmament accords this weekend. If they can do it in that time, it'll still be legal under international law, and the Russians will find themselves totally surrounded in the European theater. Then they have to negotiate with the West from a position of military weakness for the first time in 20 years. You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Number 2, the bomb itself. Inspired by Caspar Weinberger's theory that a nuclear war could actually be fought and won, this is therefore only a little atom bomb we're discussing.
Just a baby.
Yeah, and it leaves minimal radiation. It's only large enough to blow up, say, half a city. Which half? The ghetto, Jack.
Got the routine.
Okay. Now, it's commonly referred to as the Weinberger Wonder. It's actually termed the TISWIN-2. TISWIN being an acronym for Tactical Infantry Support Weapon Nuclear. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 3. The Americans are having a lot of problems getting the thing into Finland. One of the problems is Soviet high-resolution verification satellites that can read a license plate on a car from 200 miles up. That makes it pretty hard to be sneaky these days. However, the satellites do have to know exactly where to look. Now, the Americans assume that all of their military flights are being monitored pretty closely, so that only leaves...
A commercial flight.
Exactly. And from Toronto yet.
Arthur, who authorized this extravaganza?
Ottawa?
Oh, come off it, Arthur.
Gordon, just let these people get their jobs done, all right? If it's okay with Ottawa, it's okay with you. All right, then.
Look, my people got into a major gun battle this morning in a bid to get Watford back.
It just wasn't necessary, Gordon.
With all due respect, gentlemen, that's just a guess.
Because one of the only 2 men who's capable of installing the thing in Finland also happens to be here for the signing of the disarmament accords. He's Jacob Watford, the designer of TISWIN-2. The only other guy who knows his way around the thing is Watford's own assistant, Simon Dolby. Which brings us to the Americans' next problem.
Watford's been kidnapped and missing for the last 3 weeks.
Right. Now, the Americans already have Dolby, so as far as they're concerned, they're prepared to let Watford rot for the moment. Unfortunately, we can't.
Because of the brokerage.
Exactly. See, if Lorenzo's double-cross attempt had been successful this morning, then we'd have Watford. And the brokerage trying to steal the bomb would be pointless. Now it's a lot more tempting. The Americans don't believe an attempt can be made between here and Helsinki, but if there is one, anyone caught in the crossfire is our responsibility.
What about the bomb itself? Tell him, Frank. We're going to find out sooner or later.
It's not going to be in the cargo area of the plane?
No, don't be silly. Keeping the bomb away and out of sight might be too intelligent.
Here it comes.
Yeah, Dolby's got to monitor the things personally at all times.
A suitcase?
Yep, right on his lap.
Mr. Ambassador, do you think this thing will be safe all the way to Helsinki just because this department has officially cleared the passenger list?
Leave it alone, Gordon. Our main concern at this moment, your main concern, is the Russians. Never mind about your little mafia problem.
They're not the mafia. The brokerage is a lot more dangerous than the mafia.
Well, the Russians are more dangerous than anyone. You better get your field director in here.
Karen, have you done your briefing? Can I get you in here for a minute?
Karen, I believe that the security problem regarding TISWIN-2 stems from the Russians themselves, not your secret little group called the brokerage. Now, here's the operative they'll probably send, Yuri Alexandrov. He's one of their best. So if you make contact, it's strictly a shoot now and ask questions later situation. Clear?
Guess who?
Your English is quite good, Comrade Pietrovich.
Yuri, you guess.
And you're covering the accord signings for TASS.
Yes, and I got to fly on the Concorde between Paris and New York.
Well, isn't that nice? I guess you should have been here before me then.
I was here early yesterday morning, but the idiot sent my luggage to some place called Edmonton.
Now I have to take it all through customs today.
Well, I guess next time you'll fly good old dependable Aeroflot.
When can we have dinner?
Not tonight, my little cabbage. Diplomatic status. Take care, my dear.
Clugston. Mrs. Mabel, Kingston, Ontario. 72 years of age. Going to visit her son-in-law at a cooking school in Helsinki. Sounds like a real threat.
Next.
Carrigo, Edward G. Toronto. Age 50. Executive for a major chartered bank. Upper Canada College, 1951. One son at Harvard. Owns 2 wolfhounds and a black Jaguar.
Car or animal?
Car.
Next.
Listen, this ain't getting us too far. Maybe the Americans are right. Maybe the attempt won't be made till after they're off the plane at Helsinki.
Well, it still doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if they are going to sell it to the Russians, Finland's a perfect place to bring it over. The two countries border each other.
True, but Lorenzo said they already had a client lined up. I don't think it was Russia. The Russians would score a lot more points by screaming to the world media that the Americans were trying to screw them just before the Accord signing. And I think the brokerage means to sell to someone else.
Bad mail.
Yeah. From the Israeli consulate.
Yeah, it's the weekly dispatches. Close up, guys. I'm going, okay?
Okay, hey, take it easy, babe.
Good night.
Let's see what we got here.
What you got?
Pictures. And a letter from the Mossad. Have a look.
What is it?
A missile.
I can see that.
Hang on, I'm still reading. That missile was photographed with an infrared lens in a warehouse in Benghazi, Libya 2 days ago. The Israeli agents that photographed it say that we're looking at a modified Exocet missile, specifically altered to carry a Tizwin-2 warhead to be aimed at Israel.
By the client.
Right, Libya is the client. That warhead has to make it from Helsinki to Libya.
It ain't even gonna get off the plane in Helsinki.
No, hijacking.
Exactly.
One of these passengers is not exactly kosher.
And we've been through every dossier.
Well, we'll have to look at them all over again.
Oh, no.
Let's get at it, gentlemen. Oh, son of a...
Okay, Karen, time for you to go home. Look at you, you're a nervous wreck.
Go home, boss. You've been here for 2 days.
Look, we still have to get a lead on Lorenzo, and we have to keep working on rescuing one.
If Russian is to showing up, we will to be calling you, eh? Is not to getting excited.
It's relaxing. Going home. Having drinky, puss. Little bit nookie with boyfriend. Get some sleep?
Look, I've got to go to the cleaners, and then I've got to go do some shopping. I can come back here after I've done
No way, Frank, get her out of here.
Here's your coat.
Jeez.
Here's your purse. Leave.
Okay, I'm leaving. Oh, don't forget to turn off the coffee
Okay,
machine.
Karen.
You keep forgetting, Chuck. Oh, and don't forget to shut off the photocopier because Shannon's gone, and if you leave it on, it'll just burn out.
Yeah, bye, Karen.
Okay, goodbye.
Is she gone, Frank?
Yeah, she's gone.
Boy. This is gonna take forever, you know?
Hey, che strunzo, eh?
Let me tell you something, I could be home getting down on something.
Hey, don't say it. I've been here so long, I'm starting to get the hots from Mrs. Clugston.
Anna, quit playing with that duck.
I didn't have a turn playing with it yet. It's mine. I have my dinosaur.
Okay, let's not debate about it. Come on. Randy, grow your hair a little bit more. Here.
Can we have a cookie?
You guys are going to corner the market on cookies.
Can we?
No way. You've each had 5 tonight.
Oh, please, one.
Any more complaining and no story tonight.
My dinosaur's real. Everybody home.
We're in mission control.
I found Chester in the hallway again.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Anna, did you let Chester out in the hall?
No.
Randy, did you?
No. Karen, when are you going to marry Daddy?
Oh, I'm putting some thought into that. Now, who let Chester out in the hallway?
Anna did. Well, Randy opened the door.
Anna?
Well, Chester was eating my plasticine.
Who's playing?
Toronto and Pittsburgh.
Really?
1 minute to go in the game.
Who's ahead?
0-0. Among the most boring games within human memory. Thanks for reading to the kids.
Oh, I missed my last 3 turns.
I know.
So,
I didn't mean it as a complaint. I'm not quite that slow on the draw.
did you read the morning paper?
And watch the early news. It's a good thing they never mention names.
Wasn't one of my better days. How are things at the office?
Oh, we're at loggerheads over the kumquat cola account. Tony wants to risk going with the dancing kumquats, but sales are down 40% and no one's listening to me.
Dancing kumquats?
Client wants me to quit and start my own agency, and he says he'd probably give me the entire account.
Probably.
Not much of a guarantee, is it? Starting my own agency would take every dime we've got. It's a lot to think about. Job security's pretty good right where I am.
Ah, but the fools can't appreciate the ecclesiastical qualities of high-grade kumquats.
The mad fools, they have no vision.
None. They can't see beyond the end of their kumquat.
No, they can't. But what care I say.
Let 'em eat kumquats.
That's what I'll say. Tony, you bastard, go suck a kumquat.
Alexander, what a surprise. Nice to see a fellow operative in Canada.
Look at this. The Libyans have a missile adapted to carry the Americans' new warhead, Tiswin II. According to previous arrangements, they are supposed to get it from us. But they're not. Why? Because we haven't got one. So the Libyans must be dealing with someone else. I wonder who that might be.
What are you talking about, comrade?
Allow me to explain. We now know that the Libyans are modifying their Exocet missiles to carry the warhead. So someone, somehow, is going to get one for them.
A brokerage.
Very good, comrade. This means the Americans will have to bring the warhead out of hiding. Yet that is dangerous. The Tiswin is a prototype. There is only one. So why would they risk exposing it to danger? That's what I'm always asking myself.
I couldn't tell you, comrade.
Couldn't you? Well, I've got an idea. I think the Americans are going to move it somewhere before the accord signing, perhaps to a non-aligned country. I think the brokerage is going to steal it and sell it to Libya. I think you're organizing the entire thing and are betraying Russia by doing so.
Serious charges.
Aren't they? You were posted here in Toronto because a year ago it was alleged you took considerable sums as percentage for work done on behalf of the brokerage.
That was never proven, comrade.
Yeah, here you are.
Well?
2 days ago, an American operative was killed in Moscow, but not by the KGB. We believe he infiltrated the ranks of the brokerage. So why was he suddenly murdered? Because he found out something. There was a piece of microfilm embedded into the American skin. It read, "The Queen rules the pawn creates the fire." Generally, that would be meaningless to the KGB, but I happen to know it is a code used by the Americans to describe the brokerage. Queen means the present leader is a female. And fire represents nuclear weapons.
Interesting.
I think so.
And the pawn?
The warhead is useless without its designer or his assistant. If the Americans are going to smuggle it anywhere, either one or the other has to be in the immediate proximity. Well, the designer has already been kidnapped, presumably by the brokerage. So all they need now is the warhead. The assistant will be in Toronto to sign the accords in 2 days. So that means the Americans must bring the bomb here.
You think that the brokerage under my leadership will attempt to steal it?
The pawn, the fire, and the queen.
Very good, comrade. I am impressed. But I have not been in town to plan all these clandestine arrangements. I've been on vacation in Cuba. Personally, I think you've been working too hard. Why don't you go and visit our good friends at the RCMP? They bungled a job this morning that really did involve the brokerage. Perhaps they will listen to your fantasies.
Panucci. Alexandra? Better send him up.
Karen? Yeah, hi. Listen, Yuri Alexandrov just showed up. I think you better get down here. Okay.
And so you see, gentlemen, and Miss Stachuk, I'm convinced of several things. One is that your country, Mr. Ambassador, plans to move the Tiswin II warhead before the accords signing. 2, your CIA operative in Moscow is trying to warn you that this organization called the Brokerage has kidnapped Watford and plans to steal the Tiswin II. And 3, the leader of the Brokerage is a woman who must be in Toronto now.
You're sure it's not Kutsev?
As I've told you, she claimed innocence. I'm inclined to believe her. Miss Stachuk tells me that her office is under constant surveillance. She'd need more freedom than that. Besides, she's been out of the country for some time. So you see, gentlemen, you have 2 choices. One is to find Watford and rescue him. Then stealing the bomb will be pointless for the brokerage. But to find him, you must first locate the leader of the brokerage, whoever she is.
Mr. Alexandrov, I want you to know that we appreciate your candor.
It's a hell of a lot to think about. Excuse me a moment, gentlemen. Karen?
With all due respect, Mr. Alexandrov, There's a question of trust here. Your very presence at this meeting constitutes a tremendous security risk.
Sir, I speak now for myself and not for the Soviet Union. If I were to advise them at this point of my suspicions, the entire Soviet military would be put on alert. You would be risking nuclear war.
Well, what about Khrushchev? You said you told her everything.
Fortunately, she was posted here in Toronto in some disgrace. Her opinions will not carry him that much weight.
Karen, do you want to track down that waiter for us? I told him no interruptions, but I can see we could use some coffee.
Certainly, excuse me.
Will there be anything else, gentlemen?
Oh, waiter. Excuse me, waiter. Oh, my God! Somebody, we need help here! Damn it, where is everybody?
Come on, Daddy. Hurry up. Let's go.
So, just like that, you're walking out on me. That's fine. It's fine. Now I know what they mean about rats leaving a sinking ship.
Are you out of your mind? This is insane. Your little friends are trying to kill you, and you call this leaving a sinking ship? Sinking ship.
It's just till next week.
Garbage! That's what you said last time with those Albanian drug dealers. Well, we weren't living together then, but now my kids are on the firing line and I'm getting them the hell out of here.
I can't believe you're doing this. It's not like you.
Doing what? Walking out on you because you insist on being a human target? Do you think I'm just gutless? Trying to protect my kids' lives?
I love you.
I love you too, damn it. So let's get married.
Dan?
But let's get married back in Australia. Right in the outback, okay? And let's stay there. We'll buy a sheep farm. You and the kids can take care of the sheep, and I'll shoot kangaroos and write a sex novel. Okay? Let's pack right now.
Dan, I can't.
What a surprise. Oh, don't forget your bulletproof vest.
Allan, have you found Goodley yet? I know. Yeah. Okay, look, would you keep trying? Thanks. Yes, Allan. Here? Yes, send him up.
Hello, Karen.
Oh, Yuri, why did they let you out of the hospital?
I'm afraid I had to make rather a fuss, including all sorts of threats, documents, and diplomatic injunctions.
And a little pleading?
Yes, and a little pleading, too. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll be fine.
I don't know what to say. How's that? It's been so long, Henri.
9 years since you last visited Moscow University. I was sorry to hear about the American ambassador. I also asked about your Mr. Douglas.
Yeah.
I know that besides being your superior, he was also your friend.
Yuri.
We will be all right, Karen. I promise you.
This is a damn peculiar way for enemies to behave.
Perhaps it's time we called a truce. Yes?
Okay, go.
So what are we doing here this time of night?
Look, may I remind you, gentlemen, that the plane leaves for Helsinki first thing in the morning. And since Yuri's been kind enough to offer his assistance
I gotta
in this
admit,
matter,
I still think it's a little weird working cheek to cheek with the KGB.
Believe me, Mr. DiNucci, if the KGB knew I was working with you, they would,
Throw away the key?
Exactly. I'd get a very good look at the Gulag Archipelago.
Just consider it an all-expense-paid vacation.
That is very hilarious, Mr. DiNucci. I am laughing. Ho, ho, ho.
Here's something, Yuri. About our mysterious leader, Antonia Moscovich. Interesting. Look at this. She came to Toronto 6 months ago, changed her name, and worked for Lorenzo, suspected of possibly being his lover.
Yuck.
No, not her. Does your file not show that she's left the country?
No. No record of her leaving.
Well, she likely used forged diplomatic papers. At any rate, she was murdered in Paraguay shortly after that. Drug-related.
Sure.
Positive.
Takes care of her.
Excuse me, folks. I might have something here regarding the passenger list.
Yeah.
It's slim, very slim.
No.
Well, you know that Goodley, the American ambassador, had us looking for a Russian member of the brokerage? Well, you actually, Yuri. And they were actually steering us away from the passenger list?
So?
Well, we didn't realize that Libya was the destination. Now we do. Jamal Ibn Ahmed, a computer software salesman working out of Saudi Arabia.
You're right, it is slim.
You figure he's connected with the Libyans?
Well, Goodley convinced the Americans that any theft would have occurred in Helsinki because our security was airtight.
Yeah, how could Goodley let this slip by?
Who knows? Maybe this Ibn Ahmed actually checks out. After all, the federal government threw its full cooperation behind the Americans. And how sloppy could Ottawa be? Frank, dial Helen for me. Helen, patch me through the Solicitor General's residence in Ottawa. Frank, put on speaker. Good morning, sir. I'm sorry to wake you. This is Karen Stachuk, head of RCMP Field Operations in Toronto.
God, it's 3 in the morning. This better be important, Stachuk.
Yes, I believe it is, sir.
And what do you mean, head of field operations? Where's Gordon Douglas?
I'm sorry, sir. I should have said acting head. Mr. Douglas is dead. He was assassinated last night along with the American Accords coordinator.
Huh?
I need your help, sir. The American transfer of the Tizwin II warhead to the Finns by way of a Canadian commercial jetliner. Who authorized it?
Who told you about that?
A member of the group that apparently plans on hijacking the plane. He wanted to make a deal with us, but his organization shot him before we could find out any details.
Oh, God.
Mr. Minister, who authorized this project in Canada?
I did, of course. On the say-so from Arthur Goodley.
Mr. Minister, this is very important. Did you personally approve the passenger list?
I just told you I acted on Goodley's go-ahead.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Madonna, That's how Lorenzo got shot, when he came to us with a deal. Goodley went right back to the brokerage and had him knocked out before he could talk.
Yeah, that's how they found out about the transfer in the first place.
Arthur Goodley.
Yet even he is not the leader.
He just works for him. That's right.
Okay. Okay. Now we've got to get somebody on that plane. Now the hijacker will have been completely briefed by Goodley, so I'll know exactly who the CIA guard is for the carrier. What's assistant? What's his name?
Simon Dolby from the UK.
Right, okay. Erickson, contact the CIA. Tell them everything. They'll likely call the whole thing off, but we can't be sure.
We'll do, Chief.
DiNucci, find me Goodley. Tear apart the province if you have to, but I want to know where to find him.
Can do, Chief.
I'm going on that plane. The hijacker will know who's CIA, but at least he won't recognize me.
You haven't found our mysterious lady yet.
We'll have to wait, Yuri.
Hey, wait a minute. You can't go, boss. You're in charge now. You've got to let one of us go. You stay here and coordinate.
Karen, I believe the microfilm was a warning of some kind. The word pawn was indicated only in the singular. I believe it meant Watford himself. And we need you here to find him.
Yuri, you're in no condition to move, let alone fight. And Chuck, you've got the best experience at interdepartmental diplomacy. And God knows we're going to need that.
So send DiNucci. He never does anything around here anyway.
Besides, I always wanted to see Helsinki.
Okay. You're elected, Frank. But, be careful, okay?
Let Mr. DiNucci go to the airport and we'll all get some sleep. Like intelligent people.
Boy, oh boy, I'd love to travel. Hey, Lieutenant Stallion. Don't try to be a hero, okay?
Oh.
What?
Call my mother, tell her I can't make it for dinner.
Get out of here. Now what?
My grab-all pills.
Thanks very much. Have a nice flight. Could you open this, please? Diabetic?
Most of my life, about 20 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a nice flight.
nothing to worry about. In fact, I'd say this would be pretty boring. Remember, I've been with the CIA for 12 years, and I've seen a lot of real tense situations. But this is going to be a piece of cake.
Well, if you say so.
Say, how long have you been working for Watford?
1 year, 3 months, and 2 weeks. Well, it would have been 4 months and 1 week, but you got kidnapped.
Relax. Will you relax? First of all, no one knows you're here. And anyway, I'll be at the back of the plane with my eyes glued to you for the entire flight. Come on, let me buy you a drink.
Excuse me, Mr. Cates?
Yes?
Please! Remain calm, everyone, and do exactly as I ask of you. In my hand is a fully loaded automatic weapon. Please, do not force me to use it.
Hey, Chuck, go back and check that out and see what the hell is going on. No heroics, eh?
Okay. I am intent on my task here. But if you all relax and do exactly as I ask of you, I'm sure we can survive this flight with no further incident.
Good set for Karen Stachuk.
Call line 1.
Who is it?
Kutsev.
Good morning, Madame Kutsev.
Good morning. Congratulations on your new position of authority.
Yes, well, one of your side was nearly killed in that incident, too, Madame Kutsev. Although I understand the two of you aren't exactly friends.
But I was being sincere.
Were you? Yes, well, this position is still quite unofficial. Now, how can I be of service to you?
I only call to point out that I am aware that the Americans intend to arm the Finns with a nuclear device before the accord signing. I have also informed my superiors in Moscow.
What are you talking about?
I also told them that the plane with the device has been hijacked. And the hijacker intends to take the plane to Libya.
How do you know all of this?
My dear Miss Stachuk, as you know, I am only an old intelligence officer who's fallen out of grace. But being old has given me the advantage of being able to develop many sources for my intelligence. This is your country, Miss Stachuk, not mine. And I have no desire to die here. You'd better get that plane to turn back.
And if I don't?
My dear, as soon as that plane enters Soviet airspace, it will be shot down.
Wait a minute. Now just wait a minute. Let's just suppose there really is a warhead on that plane. Now, if you shot it down, you'd set off a nuclear blast. You'd start World War III.
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? Goodbye, Miss Staychuck.
You want to put that gun down? Sit down! Put it down! Shut up and sit down!
Don't you realize what'll happen if you shoot that gun?
You have no reservations about putting a hole in your head! Sit down! Don't! No! Somebody help me! You're a hero. Wait a minute! It's all right.
It's a bomb!
A bomb?
It's a bomb!
No, I'm not Dolby.
What? I don't know where he is. They promised me money. Lots of it. We're going on to Libya. Or I'll set this thing off.
No.
I don't know. It was mostly done by telephone. They told me I look just like him, but I don't even know who he is. All I know is, all my life I've been poor and alone. And nobody's going to take this chance from me. Nobody.
Don't worry. Nobody's going to hurt you.
You're darn right they're not. If I push this button,
no, don't.
This thing goes off in 5 hours, and there's nothing you can do about it. Just take off, huh?
Karen, the CIA wants to storm the aircraft, but it's still on the ground. Believe that?
Figures.
Hello. Get me Downsville.
Chuck, I think I've got something here.
Hold on, Karen. No, through regular channels. This is priority number 1.
See if you can get me a photograph of this person.
I want it right now.
Yes, Helen. Put him through.
Karen, can you hear me?
We hear you, Frank.
Okay, I stopped the hijacker. But this isn't the real Dolby. He's threatened to set off the bomb if we don't go to Libya, so we just took off. We took off. No choice. It's a time bomb. If he sets it off, it goes in 5 hours, and there's nowhere it can be exploded safely.
Not even the ocean?
There isn't any time to plan for it. There could be ships, fishing grounds, geological faults,
Okay,
islands.
I get the picture. Listen, Frank, you'll pass into Russian territory in half an hour. They'll shoot you down. Wait a minute, Frank. I think we might have something here. Look, keep that imposter away from the other passengers. I'll get back to you as fast as I can.
Do you know this person?
No. I just called up the file.
How could we be so stupid? She's been under our nose the entire time.
Somebody want to let me in on this?
Kristen Petrovich. We never thought of looking up any files except of those known KGB agents or members of the brokerage. Miss Petrovich works for TASS, and this week she's been assigned
To cover the accord signing in Toronto, Canada. How did you know to check the file on her?
When I was looking at Moscovich's file, I'd mentioned that she'd been Lorenzo's lover. Well, we kept a pretty intensive file on Lorenzo, so I decided to check the cross-reference. He's a very wealthy man, bought a lot of women.
They were listed?
A lot of them were.
Still a long shot, Karen. Doesn't Kutsev make more sense?
Oh, no, she doesn't. We've had Kutsev under tight surveillance. Besides, he's been away from Moscow for over a year.
Whereas the American was murdered in Moscow 5 days ago, and Petrovich has been in Toronto for 4.
She planned the murder of the CIA man in Moscow and was here to murder Lorenzo a day later? Lady's got tight timing.
She took the Concorde.
How do you know that, Yuri?
She told me.
She told you?
When, Yuri?
When I was going through customs, she had returned to the airport to collect some luggage that had been delayed.
Excuse me.
I think we found our lady leader.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the computer shows her last known local address.
Yep.
Rosedale.
Nice neighborhood.
I should go with you on this, Ken.
Relax, Yuri. Just relax.
I'm understandably worried.
Hey, I'll be just fine, Yuri.
Yeah? Washington on 1, State Department, they're mad.
Okay, could you stall them for me? Smith?
Yeah.
Okay, now pay attention, everyone. Erickson, get on the line of the Finnish military in Helsinki. Have them clear the airport because that commercial flight will be on its way back soon.
When?
When I say so, that's when. Now, we need all the time we can get. We've got to push this right up to the edge. Get it?
Got it.
Okay. Smith, call Ottawa. Have them tell the Finns to have their fastest aircraft standing by. Have them file a flight plan for Dansby Air Base.
Right back here?
Yes, and have one of our cruisers standing by at Dansby as well. I'm off to Rosedale. State check, RCMP. A minimum loss of life. Yes. Yes, I have a better idea. Just stay the hell out of my way. RCMP to see Kristen Petrovich.
This way.
You're expected.
Miss Petrovich? I've come to discuss the situation in Helsinki with you.
You're a fool, Miss Stachak. You've made a very big mistake.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You're trying to find Watford to defuse the bomb.
How do you know that?
Come now, I designed this entire operation. I knew the imbecile that I had replaced Dolby might panic. If he presses the arming switch, the bomb will go in 5 hours. Where, of course, we have the real Simon Dolby standing by to defuse it. You knew he was an assistant of Watford, did you not? Regrettably, Watford himself has been in the care of your Mr. Goodley for the past 3 weeks.
Where is Goodley?
None of this is of any concern to you now, believe me. It has all been out of your hands for quite some time. He's staying at the Royal York, where I'll join him shortly. From there, we'll proceed to your island airport and then out of this dreary country forever. Who are you really? You're delaying the inevitable. Simone, Constantine.
I asked you a question.
Once, there was a little girl, Miss Stachuk, whose parents were sent to Siberia by Stalin. Siberia is very cold, Miss Stachuk, particularly when you are virtually dying from starvation. She was beaten. She was raped. But she swore that one day she would have more wealth and especially more power than any of her tormentors could ever imagine. In the end, Miss Stachuk, I will not work on behalf of the Libyans, or the Syrians, or the Cambodians, or the Iraqis. They will all work for me.
You're out of your mind, Miss Pietrovich. Were you aware of that?
Brave words from someone about to die, Miss Stachuk. Your mounted police should have never become involved in this in the first place. Perhaps you should have left it to your American friends. You are, how do you say, outclassed. Take her. Leave no traces. Get her, you idiots!
I'm fine. What's the status report on the jet? Could somebody get me a Kleenex here?
They'll be over Soviet territory in 1 minute.
CIA on 1, Kutsev on 2, and Prime Minister on 3.
Aircraft are in position. Also, Yuri's checking other locations to detonate the bomb.
Okay, Shannon, get Frank to turn that plane around.
Even if the crazy man sets off the bomb?
Yes, go! Stachuk, your World War III is about to begin. Madame Kutsev, if you would be kind enough to have your people watch the radar screen, you'll see that the aircraft is about to turn back to Helsinki.
You'd better, Miss Stachuk.
Bye. RCMP, speaking. Yes, I'm aware of that. I do have to go now. Whose idea was it to arm the Finns in the first place? Hey, no problem. I do this for a living. Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. How are you today?
Oh, we got a bit of turbulence here.
Oh. Oh, no.
In less than 5 hours, it's going to explode, and there's no safe place to detonate it.
Karen, I've got Goodley on the line from Royal York now. He says if we rush the place, he'll kill Watford.
Okay. Should be lots of fun. Hello, Arthur.
Well, Karen, you've given us quite a runaround. I'm proud of you.
You should be. You trained me. I'm not particularly proud of you, though, Arthur. I used to respect you a great deal. But let's not talk about that. The warhead is armed and on its way back to Toronto. I want you to have Watford defuse it. We'll let you go in exchange.
I want more than that, Karen.
What?
I want the bomb in exchange for Watford.
No can do, Arthur.
You have no choice, Karen. Meet me at Ontario Place in 4.5 hours. Plenty of time to get the bomb back from Helsinki. I want clearance in and out of Ontario Place, and I want you to be there unarmed, or the deal's off.
For heaven's sakes.
Hi, Auntie Martha. We came back again.
So I see.
It's a little hard to explain.
First you came in yesterday. This morning you told me you were going up to Port Elgin to work on Uncle Jake's fishing boat for the summer. Now you're back. What's going on?
Auntie Martha?
Yes, hon?
Can we go to the zoo again today? Please, 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 please.
Settle down,
Dan, listen. If all of this has got to do with Karen, I can tell you, you can't keep running away from these things.
I should try and talk to her again.
Sure, why not?
Well, you never steered me wrong so far. Thanks for all of this. Okay, look, I'll be back later on today, you guys, okay? So don't destroy the house, all right?
Sure will.
Thanks for all of this.
For what?
For listening and looking after the kids.
No problem. Will you be back in time for supper?
Yes. No, I don't know.
on in, kid.
Time.
10 after.
Okay. State check. Is everything ready? Now, the exchange should take approximately 10 minutes, so I want you to be ready to move in at exactly 16:05. All right. Gentlemen, it's all going down at Ontario Place, 1600 hours. Erickson, I want you to get 3 of your best men. Smith, I want you to get a backup ready. We leave in exactly 2 minutes. Move it.
Okay, what about me?
No way, Yuri. Well, it would be the first time the KGB and the Mounties worked together on the same case. Okay, Yuri, you go with Erickson. Okay, let's go. Move it.
Can I talk to you for 1 bloody minute?
Fair, we don't have time for that.
Where are they going?
To Ontario Place to make a bus. You can't go there. Dan! Dan!
Erickson, any sign of Goodley yet?
No sign of him yet, Karen.
Okay, keep looking.
I want you to stay out of sight. I don't want you breathing unless you hear from Erickson. No mistakes. Move it.
Time left.
Thank God the weather cleared up. It was going to be tough enough the way it was.
Where's this guy? Karen, the men are all in the positions.
Okay, good.
Here comes Tanucci now.
Thank God.
Lucky the bastard gets a holiday.
How much time we got?
5 minutes. Goodly has this by the front of the diner.
Okay.
Okay, hit it!
Okay, man. We got one guy up here. Okay.
Get your ass down, rookie!
One guy up here and one guy down there. All right.
Leader 1, you're on your own.
Damn. Karen, they snafu'd the backup. steps out of that bridge.
The waste of it. Here comes a limousine.
Young lady, no problem.
Sorry about this, Karen.
So am I.
It's a sellout! Waster!
Nice right hook.
Australia?
Maybe. Bulletproof vest, don't do much for impact.
I think I can take your mind off it.
Let me see you try.
Take a seat in the car, sir.
Mr. Watson. I think I have something here that belongs to you. Thank you. Please, next time, take better care of it. Come on. You waiting for us, don't you? Thanks to torture himself. Come on. You say we try some good Canadian vodka.
Actually, I prefer your rye whiskey.
Oh, we enthusiastically. Caviar and stroganoff. How about caviar?
How about some hamburger?